Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. Three moms getting real with parenthood, relationships, and our WTF moments of our daily lives. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Shanan.
Hi, Shy. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm okay.
Oh, you coming off. What is on your mind today?
There's so much that I want to talk about.
Yes.
And I'm
That's literally how I feel.
That's how I feel. Honestly, I feel like the past week has just been a really busy week, just working, filming, getting all the things done. And then the other side of it is I have been trying to be present for my best friend who right now is on the Ultimatum.
Yes.
On Netflix. I'm sure you guys have seen it, or if you have not
seen it, please go watch it.
It is the best season by far.
It is a really good season.
But at her expense.
Yeah.
And that is like the hardest part, is that knowing Zaina in real life and loving Zaina, this is so hard to watch.
Is it hard too? I know because I've seen her as well, like as one of her best friends. Is it hard to see her like go through it, like get messages, you know, checking
all of
on
the
her?
above.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the biggest thing with reality TV that I think that a lot of us all realize, but until you live it directly, it's never gonna hit you the way that it hits until you're in it.
Yeah.
So with reality TV, you live things more than once. So you go through the situation in real life when it's being filmed, right? You heal.
Right.
Months have gone by, you heal, or maybe you haven't healed, but you've been through it, you know?
Right.
And then you relive it when it airs.
That's
and then,
the wild thing.
Even after that, it's out there forever. So it can be 3 years and somebody can still bring up that one moment that you're just still reliving over and over again. So everybody who's done a reality TV show knows that feeling. Now, does it help to know that feeling? Does it hurt any less? Does it make you feel any better?
Sure not.
No. So the fact that Zaina went through this experience and experienced it the way that she did with two narcissistic assholes, and then now she has to watch it back with all of America commenting on it
and saying, yeah.
It's like, realize that at the end of the day, she is a real person. And that now we're all, of course, like very proud of Zaina, giving Zaina all of her flowers. Very like, girl, you stood up for yourself.
Right, you got the, yeah, you did
all
that.
These things, I think that we still have to take a step back and realize, like, she still went through this experience, and how fucked up is it? Like,
and she's still processing, because I remember talking to her back a while ago in Mexico, and we had a few conversations about her just healing from that whole experience. And then I'm just, like you said, now it's like present day, and she's reliving it all over again.
Yes. So, and it's hard to watch. I mean, it's hard to watch. Let's start from the beginning.
On TV.
Yeah. The Ultimatum, the premise of the show is that you go on with your significant other that you're giving an ultimatum to. So they can either marry you at the end or you move on. And there's couples on there that have given each other ultimatums. And then there's like a guy can give a girl one.
Ultimatum, yeah.
Right. Or a girl can give the guy one. So there's different scenarios. Okay. And with this season, if you watch it, there's 4 people who end up leaving. So there's 2 couples in the beginning that leave from the experience.
Yes.
Now the other couples that stay, they are really doing the experience the way that I think the show was being created for. Yeah. Like, I think that everyone is really trying their best to do that experience. Now, it's crazy to me.
It's a crazy
that people lie on the show knowing that later on you're going to watch it back.
You're going to get receipts and you're going to, yeah.
It's just mind-blowing.
It's really mind-blowing. And then so also in this show, you swap partners.
Yes.
You date somebody, you break up with that person.
You break up with the person that you came there with.
And then you have a new partner.
You have a trial marriage.
Which is, I think, the biggest part of the show, because you're living with a person, pretending that they're your husband or wife.
It's like, is the grass really greener on the other side?
Which just is wild to me. And like Shai said, some of the couples really take it to that level of like, you're my wife now. Like,
but a level that's like mind blowing to me.
That. And I think some couples still mention their significant others, which I think is what the show is intended for, which is like, you know, I want to get this out of our trial marriage because I want to move it on to my partner that I love and came with, and I'm scared to lose them.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about
Zaina's.
Let's talk about Zaina's trial marriage.
I'm not laughing because I think I'm nervous laughing.
I'm going to say facts about it.
Okay.
Scotty is scary. Fact.
Because
fact. Like
I think the first time I got scared of Scotty is when they were dating at when they all sat down at the bar with each other, and Zaina and him were talking, and they were getting a little too comfortable, I guess. And then his girl that he came with.
Oh, when he yelled at Aria.
When he yelled at her, he was like, he got
it's like, what is going on, Scotty? Yeah. That was the first red flag. I think the second and third red flag, it was in the same scene where Zaina and Scotty are talking about dates. He said, let's go on a date today. And she said, okay, what do you want to do? And he said, hot air balloon. And she was like, honestly, like, that's not my version of a fun date. Like, I'm afraid of heights. You know, I don't really want to do that. And then he was like,
the second date,
cryotherapy. What the fuck?
To go be in a cold chamber.
Like, we just went from like one extreme to the other extreme. And watching his reaction of her saying like, let's think of some other ideas. Dates. I was like, oh, he's hurt. He was
really hurt.
He was so hurt.
Because then it went down to childhood. Like, nobody has ever denied.
It was rejection. What I want.
Yeah, it was rejection. And Zaina's face, Zaina cannot hold her facial expressions are
She
priceless.
needs to be in a Tyler Perry movie. Tyler Perry, you need to cast Zaina. She has the faces down.
All of them down.
Like,
because she was so confused because she was like, I'm down to go on a date, but those are two things that she was like, I don't like being cold and I don't want to be
I'm afraid of heights.
I'm afraid of heights.
There's a million other things that we could do.
We could do other things. I'm down with whatever. But those two things, when he said no, she was like,
But did you hear how she said, like, are you taking this as a form of rejection? And he was like, yeah, I am. Like, that to me is a red flag. Like, that is so crazy that if Zach comes in and is like, do you want Chinese food or Mexican food? And I'm like, no, you just
ruined my life.
You just ruined everything. You just rejected me. It's like, what? There's so many other options.
But then in that same scene, he got mad too because then he was like, did you eat without me? And I love Zaina. She took another bite. She's like, yep, I ate without you. And so he just got rejected that whole whatever.
I think that you can tell that Scotty is scary through his eyes.
Yes. I was looking at a meme last night.
His eyes.
It's his eyes.
It's
Somebody
the
was
eyes.
like, I think Zaina posted it. It was like, he could be in that, like...
It's like the death stare.
Yeah, it was a really scary stare.
It's just crazy. But what is mind-blowing to me, so I'm not going to lie, I am invested, okay? I'm very, very, very much so invested in the show. To the point where in the morning, normally I check World Star. That's my first, the first thing that I search.
Your news.
Lately, the first thing that I'm checking is Zaina's page, Scotty's page. I look at JR's page. I'm on TikTok. I'm on the Ultimatum page. And I'm like, Cheyenne, you are way too invested in this.
It's your best friend.
Yes.
You're making sure she's okay.
What is so irritating to me is Scotty did a podcast. And on the podcast, they addressed the conversation between him and Zaina. And he downplayed it so much. He was like, no, we were laughing throughout that whole conversation.
What conversation?
Of him being rejected by the date and her eating food. And I'm like, when and where? Where was there a giggle? Like,
where was there a laugh? It was so serious and silent.
It was so serious.
It was like the most silent and serious scene.
I'm like, come on. You cannot blame editing.
You did not giggle.
You were not joking, Scotty. We know you're not joking.
You were upset at her.
Yes.
That she didn't want to freeze her ass off.
Yes.
Or be in the air.
I've never commented on so many different TikTok pages in my life. I'm like, this is a fucking lie. Like, you know that you were upset. So just take accountability and say, hey, guys.
I'm used to getting my way.
I watched the show. I'm sorry.
I look crazy.
I look crazy. I'm going to get
some
apologize.
Help.
And I'm sorry.
I'm going to get some help.
Like, that's it. Like, I feel like at some point he has to sit back and say, damn, this isn't editing. This is not how I'm coming off. This is who I am. And I need to make some real life changes and adjustments.
Right, because I feel like Zaina handled it well. She just was so calm every time. She was like, well, what's the issue? What's going on? And it's her tone is so calming that I just don't understand how you could be so upset. Like,
she needs to teach a class.
She really does. Because the way she would put things, you'd be like, oh shit. Like, let me backtrack and look at myself.
She needs to teach her a class. The scene where Scotty is in the bathroom doing whatever he was doing, staring into space, cleaning, I don't know, and Zaina was like packing her stuff, and in that moment I was like, okay.
Oh, you're meaning in the most recent episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scary business. Just very scary business. Like, I don't know what else to say other than narcissistic, scary.
I wonder, I think my thing that I took away, I guess, keep looking at how Zaina kept, like, evaluating things, and, like, she would always be like, whoa, why are you attacking me? Why are you...
With the whole hall pass thing.
Yeah.
Scotty attacked Zaina with the whole hall pass situation.
That, when they came back from boys' night.
Oh! When he was, like, ripping the paper towel. Yeah. Travis.
Yo.
What do you think about Scotty? What do you think about Zaina's trial husband?
Oh, my God. Well, okay, so I'm mostly caught up, and I agree with you, Cheyenne. Zaina should teach a masterclass on how to keep your composure with a narcissistic asshole. Because he gave her every bit of ammunition to be just out of her mind angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was able to see clearly the ways he was manipulating her and articulate it back to him. Her class, like, blew my mind. And she's such a badass in the way she handled herself.
I would pay to have that, like, characteristic of myself.
Me too, because if I was approached that way, I would probably look like a damn fool on TV and went off on him.
Yeah.
But the way she did it with class, because she just kept saying, like, when he came back from boys' night, she was like, hold up, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Like, why are you bringing that energy, whatever energy you have from boys' night, don't bring it here to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't do shit to you.
I think that Scotty...
He wanted the drama.
I think that he is manipulative, and he's used to getting his way when he manipulates situations. He's used to I really think that he's used to somebody folding around him.
And that's what
he met his match with Zay.
Yeah, and I think that's what who he came with.
Yeah, Arya.
I want to comment on that, because one thing that he said that infuriated me was he referred to Zaina, and there's something along the lines of, he thought that this was going to be like a kiddie park ride, you know, and he got on this roller coaster and didn't expect. Basically, he was saying he thought he could push Zaina around and manipulate her and control her the way he has with previous relationships.
Yes.
Well, his previous relationship, which I feel like she felt stuck. And she couldn't express herself or anything. But then he came to a woman that expresses herself in a high level. He was like, oh, shit.
He couldn't deflect the way that I think that he's used to deflecting in his previous relationship. I think he's used to manipulating and getting his way. And now he's not. And it's like, somebody like him, I think that he's losing it. I think he's spiraling, because he's like, fuck, I can't get my way with this person. I'm not coming off of this this alpha male. Like
he was being challenged.
He was challenged.
He was challenged.
He folded.
He did fold.
He folded.
He did.
So he needs to just chalk it up. Like, I've gone on Scotty's page, and the way that he comments back to people is like infuriating me, because it's like excuse after excuse after excuse, and like, no, we were joking in that scene. No, Zayn such a good person. We all know Zayn is a good person.
We know
Scotty,
she's an amazing person.
Take accountability for your actions.
Isn't that textbook narcissism?
Yes. Thank you. And I think that is what is frustrating from watching it. Regardless of my relationship with Zay, I'm screaming at my TV. If I didn't know Zayn, I would still be screaming at my TV. Like, what the actual fuck did you go through? Like, how did you survive?
Go through.
Yes. So let's talk about Scotty and Arya. What do you think about their relationship?
I think, because hearing back to seeing how her and Caleb were together.
In love.
And she was so mad that he wouldn't admit that that they loved each other.
I want to snatch Caleb and say, like, Caleb,
you see this?
We know that you liked her.
And Scotty was so mad because he was like, you don't see her and you don't like her? Like, that's just a friendship? That's the only thing I agreed with him. Like, he was so mad.
Scotty was like, say it. Say you're more than friends. I know you're more than friends. Say it.
He's like, do you not see that girl? She's gorgeous.
No, I think they liked each other.
I think they liked each other a lot because they kept, like, holding hands and having these special moments.
They liked each other. Caleb was really... I think that Caleb was genuinely trying to put it in his brain, friendship, where his body language and what he's saying and his actions and everything towards Arya was screaming everything but just friendship.
Yeah. But to go back to Arya and Scotty's relationship, something that her brother said when they met Arya and Caleb or whatever, he was just saying that she's used to, I don't know how her dad was.
Okay.
But, like, he was saying, like, she's used to men that are like that or something like that.
I think that brother made it clear that he is not a Scotty fan.
No. He was definitely...
He was like, not a fan of...
Like,
he was praying to the camera.
Please. He was like, please make Caleb and Arya
I think
work.
That all I got from the interaction between from Arya's brother in that whole scene was that Arya's brother would take anyone else but Scotty.
It just seemed like Scotty has just been what we were just talking about, and like a narcissist, and he was able to push her around.
I think that Arya needs to know her worth.
Yes.
And needs to know what she deserves. And I hope that she finds that for herself.
I do too, because I think,
And whether Scotty goes, I don't know. Maybe Scotty goes and gets help after this show and him and Arya are able to work it out. But I think that Arya has no idea how gorgeous she is, how intelligent she is, and that she... deserves the world, and Scotty,
because she
needs a lot of self-reflection before he can give anybody anything.
Because I think in the Caleb and Arya trial marriage, it just showed that she was so at peace.
Yes.
And that's what she kept saying the whole time. She was like, I feel like I can be heard.
You're so calm.
You're so calm. You're and the thing that
what
her
is the opposite of calm? A fucking storm.
You're not okay. Because even her brother and his wife noticed. He's like, oh, she's herself.
Yeah.
And whatever that meant, I guess she's not herself. I guess she has to be on her toes, or like has to be a certain way with Scotty.
Did that break your heart when he said that?
Yes, because
I don't like that.
I don't like that because that means that you're a whole different human.
Yeah.
You have to put on a facade or a face, or you have your guards up because if you say something wrong, that means you're in I kept thinking, like, are you in an abusive relationship or
mentally,
like verbally, like, and I could see that with Scotty because the way he words things are like, even at the end when, if you guys are all caught up, sorry, I'm
We'll put a big old spoiler thing on the title.
Because even when Zaina left the room that night in the last episode, like, he was so rude to her.
So rude.
And she was like, I'm not going to put up how you're talking to me.
I'm not going to stay here.
I'm not going to stay here. Why would
I'm so happy she did not stay.
Because the way he was talking to her was wild.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when he wasn't getting his way, or he wasn't being able, he wasn't able to talk to Zaina how he wanted to talk to her. So I wonder if that's how their relationship.
I filmed with Scotty. I went out to Arizona.
Did they show it?
No.
Damn it.
I went out to Arizona. I met Scotty. We went to lunch.
What were their vibe? What was
and when I walked away, I told Zay, like, that interaction, he's very, like, he wanted me to like him. Like, he's one of those people who, like, wanted someone to, like, validate them. And I was like, he needs a lot of validation, like a lot. And I think that now watching it back and seeing everything that I didn't see and didn't know, it's like, okay, I can totally see how he needs the validation. I can totally see how he's narcissistic. I can totally see how he's manipulative. And I don't think that Scotty is like a bad person. I don't think that he's trying to be a bad person. I just think that he has zero like self-awareness, and that he really needs to like work on himself, and I pray that he does. I really want him to watch himself on this show and say, okay, I have a lot of work to do, as opposed to making excuses
like we were happy,
or blaming editing. It's like, no, let's not blame editing on this one. Let's take real accountability and say, wow, I fucked up.
Right. In which way? I'm curious now. Like, when you met him, in which type of way was he just like me?
Yeah, when you meet someone, and of course, like, he wanted me to like him. I'm Zaina's friend, but it's also like, you don't know me from a can of paint. Like, you don't need my validation,
right? You need hers,
right? Or you need your girl you came here with, So to me, it's like, be yourself. What I feel like I also have to realize is that when cameras are on, people tend to change.
You turn
and on. That brings me to JR.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Good old JR.
Honestly,
who are you?
Literally.
Who
Not that I've met him so many times, but I've met him or been around him.
Yes.
A few.
Yes.
At dinner parties.
Yeah, he's been to dinner parties.
Christmas parties. All the parties.
He's been to all the parties. Has he ever said anything?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally, you guys, when this man started talking on the cameras, I
started looking around.
I was like, wait, this is a man Zaina dates?
This is how he talks? Who are you? I have so many questions.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Zaina. But what? What the fuck? The way he was talking, I'm like, what? I didn't think that was his. Is that his voice? Because it really got on my nerves.
I don't know.
It got on my nerves.
Shanan.
And it automatically made me think. I said, I was like, I really wanted to ask Zaina. I was like, this is what you heard every day.
I have had to ask Zaina so many questions this past few weeks. And to the point where I'm like, Zay, just block me. Because I'm so lost. Now, this is what I'm going to say about Zaina and JR. That is bothering me is that I think the biggest thing right now that I see online is that people are saying they were a fake couple.
No.
And that maybe they were exes and they got back together to do the show. Or maybe they were just friends and they both wanted to be on reality TV. No, and no. The biggest thing that I keep on saying is that they were not a fake couple.
No, not at all.
They have been dating for years, and that
live together.
It's just like it's frustrating hearing people say that they're a fake couple when we all have experienced them being a couple. And it's like the fact that they going on this show are a real ass couple and that this is how he treated her is it's mind blowing.
It made me sick.
Like, how can you treat somebody that you've been in a relationship with for years this fucking bad?
And not even, I don't know. It made me sick to my stomach watching and just like me screaming at the TV.
It's like he went there and forgot who he came there with. Number one.
Oh, he
was so detached.
He was too detached.
So detached.
To the point where he was telling Sandy that he loved her.
You're going to be my wife, baby,
calling her babe, smacking her ass.
It was like, who are you? And like, I've just never seen like the cockiness, the confidence.
It was ugly.
It was ugly behavior.
It was such ugly behavior.
I get anybody trying to defend him in the sense of saying, well, he went there and he really evolved himself in the experiment. No. There's a way where he could have done that and still been respectful towards Zaina and just towards himself.
Because he didn't respect himself. Just like at the beginning when they all went to like, oh, you know, the beginning of the dating, it started there and you're just like.
His comments about like race.
That one scene. Are you talking about this scene?
About how he's like, I've never been with the white girl. You've been with the white girl. Like, is this your chance to get with the white girl? Like, I'm so confused.
It was like, I don't know. It was like a thing for him. It was like let me get a white girl and let me experience.
It was a bucket list. Check the bucket list.
Yeah. But it was like a weird check off.
It was strange.
And then he got the white girl and he he went for the whole shebang.
But she did too.
And that's another thing.
Sandy, I'm going to say it. You are not a girl's girl.
You're not.
As much as you want to say you are not.
You didn't protect Zay. You didn't tell her
You're
everything.
Literally making out and then talking about, I'm doing this for you.
I'm making sure you know, girl.
I'm making him the best version of himself for you.
No, the fuck you weren't.
Like what? Where?
Not in any slight way were you trying to
and here's the
prep
thing.
him.
She can say, oh, I wasn't going to tell her because that was JR's place to tell her.
No.
Then why did you bring it up in the first place?
Right.
Like you brought it to her.
Just tell her. Tell her the real truth.
Why lie?
And then I hate that they lied, that they only kissed twice. I hate that they lied, that they said it
filmed.
twice.
It is filmed. We're going to see the lie. Like, I'm telling you, this show has my blood pressure up so high. I'm not even invested in my own show like this. Like,
I'm dead.
I'm literally screaming at the screen. Well, Zaina did not ask you, Sandy. You came, you brought the information to her, and then you lied.
You lied big time.
What was the point?
What was the point? You told your man, and then the way, I don't know.
The way she's dogging Nick, I feel really bad. I feel bad for Nick. Nick was doing the experience by himself.
All by himself. And
I feel bad for Nick.
I feel like she was gaslighting him the whole time. Because she kept...
Yeah.
Her and JR were gaslighting him.
They belong together.
They were not a nice couple.
They weren't.
They were so sexual the whole time.
Everything was sex.
Everything was sex.
Do you think that they had sex?
Yes.
Travis, do you think they had sex?
I would assume.
Yeah.
The way they were cuddling and the turning off the lights after kissing, like, bro,
I wanted to throw up.
Come on. It was disgusting. It was really just watching it and thinking about Zaina the whole time. Like, it hurt
the way that
heart.
JR did his interview and was like, I'm so sad to leave Sandy. I don't know how I'm going to do these next few
days.
It's like,
bitch, sorry.
You don't know how you're going to do the next few days with the person.
Oh my God.
You came here with? What? What are you talking about?
Why am I so angry right now? Because I haven't been able to talk about this with anybody else.
Frustrating.
It's really frustrating. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
What do you mean you don't know how you're going to do this? You literally came here with her. You don't know
with
how.
With the girl that you've been with for 3 years.
So the
woman that you've been invested in for your.
This show has me in a chokehold. Number one.
It has. I'm ready for the. I don't understand why they cut it off.
I'm ready for engagement day, and I'm ready for the reunion. And until then, I'm just. I'm flabbergasted by this shit, by everything.
I think I'm really, like, it just blows my mind the way JR
is a douchebag.
Just the way he acts, the way he treated Zay.
These last few episodes, the whole season, it's just a nasty thing to watch. I really give Zaina her props, because even when they all sit down again and, you know, she finds out that they kissed. Yes, and finding out in that setting is fucked up.
And, you know, and then going
and
back
she's
into
crying,
the room, and he's just looking at her.
Oh my God.
Why was he looking at her? Why was he let his woman just cry?
I feel bad for anybody listening to this. You guys are probably like, damn, Shannon and Cheyenne screamed at us the whole podcast episode. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really yelling.
When I tell you, I
was really yelling.
Upset.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm very upset. Shannon's very upset. We're all very upset over here.
And it's just, when you guys watch this show, you probably will yell and scream with us, because it's just the way his mannerisms, you know, and Zaina's still, when they got back together.
Zaina's still being Zaina.
Still being Zaina.
Still being sweet. Still gifting him. Giving on him.
Doing
emotionally talking to him. Picking his brain. Doing every fucking thing that she should have been doing. And then what does he give her back? Aww.
Thanks, babe.
Like, come the fuck on. Travis, you're watching it. What do you think about Zaina and JR?
Incompatible. I feel like it's clear. JR said several things throughout the season where it just seems like he's not ready, and he doesn't seem to be giving Zaina what she deserves in terms of emotional capacity. I don't think they're compatible.
Yeah.
No, after seeing that, I didn't think so either.
What did you think about JR and Sandy?
I thought they had a pretty sexually charged relationship.
It was all sex.
I think that, like, if they were both actually single, they would probably have a lot of fun together for a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit is the key phrase.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
They were just like, I think it was just like, they look like little fuck buddies.
Yeah.
That's all they gave off.
Now, I want to talk about Nick and the tattoo. What the fuck, Nick?
Did he do that on purpose?
I don't think so. I think that he genuinely sent the tattoo artist the wrong tattoo.
Yes, I think that too. Then
why did you not look at any moment when they're doing it to see, is this the right tattoo?
That was hilarious. And
Bro,
then JR
having the tattoo and saying, he wants to be me. He wants to be me. I was like, nobody wants to be you. Nobody.
Can I be mean for like 2 seconds? Never mind. Let me not.
Let's hear it.
As a hairstylist.
Oh, my God.
As a hairstylist.
That's all you need to say.
I am over his fucking hairline.
That's all you need to say. All you had to say was as a hairstylist, and everybody knows what you're talking about. Nothing else needs to be said. You know what? I will say this. One thing that stood out to me of one of the dates that JR and Zaina had, that I was like, okay, that it's making a little bit of sense. Like the way, like you being the way you are.
Which date?
He had said growing up he was the ugly duckling and he was always being called ugly. And I will say, if you look at JR actually posted a TikTok on his page proving that him and Zaina have been in this relationship for the past 3 years, posting pictures from the very beginning up until now.
Oh, okay.
If you look at those pictures, when JR and Zay first met, JR was not fit. Like, he was not, his body is not where it was, right?
Yeah.
He was thicker, a lot thicker, and heavier. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to lay it out for what has progressed over the few years. And listening to him talk about himself, of saying, yeah, I was the ugly duckling, and like I really poured in myself and my fitness to get me to where I am now. I realized that I think that his mindset is still stuck on that ugly duckling part, and that he did so much to fix his outer appearance to where he feels really good about himself right now, but he did no internal work. So you're still ugly on the inside, but your outer appearance, because you have the abs and you do the poses and stuff, like you feel like, okay, I'm no longer the ugly duckling. I'm now a beautiful swan. But I think that JR needs to really sit back, watch this villain that he is, and say, damn, the same work that I put in at the gym, I need to put in at therapy.
Well, because it sounds like he has, yes, I agree. I totally agree that he needs therapy, because what he was, little tidbits of when him and Sandy were talking, or even Zayn was like, damn, I didn't know that all these things about like your marriage and your childhood and how you grew up, and I think that's still hurting him. Yeah. So like you said,
I think he needs to fight the demons that he has before he can give anybody a relationship.
Anybody his love.
Yes. That's like there's a lot that needs to be worked on, and we see that all throughout the show. There's no way that he can watch the show unless there's really something wrong with him in his head and say, damn, I did really good on this show. I killed it. It's like, what? No, you didn't. Like
I made us look good, girl.
The opposite effect. Like I just don't get it.
And I think to do a lot of inner work.
Yes, I think right now pretending like feeding into this villain character, pretending like the things that people are saying about him online aren't hurting him. It's like, let's call it I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I think that he actually cares a lot about what people think about him.
Of course, who wouldn't?
Yes, and the fact that he is getting demolished, dragged through the fucking mud in his comments right now, but his videos are still feeding into this villain character.
That's all I see.
It's like I'm so lost.
The one video that you showed me on TikTok, he was about a villain, like me being
like laughing. I'm the villain. It's like that is not.
Well, it's not. Let's not do that. It's not gonna help.
It's not. It's genuinely just not okay.
It's not gonna help you heal.
No.
It's not gonna help anything else, but to make you even look even uglier inside.
Yeah. So Travis, Shannon and I are not gonna do them, but I want you to do predictions.
Okay.
So. Sure. Mariah and Caleb.
Mariah and Caleb get back together.
Okay. Scotty and Aria.
Oof. I hope they don't. I hope Aria understands how amazing she is and that she deserves better. I think that even if they get back together, they're not going to last very long.
Okay. Sandy and Nick.
Sandy and Nick don't get back together. He's done too much damage, and I think Sandy felt like she was out from the beginning.
Okay. Zaina and JR.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Okay.
Oh, God.
What about the four people that left?
Here's my layer. I think JR will try to get with Sandy, and Sandy is going to want to just be on her own, be single.
Okay. Because the teaser they left off in the last episode that aired was a teaser of engagement day and JR and Sandy meet up. That was like the last thing that they showed us.
Okay. That's got to be JR trying with Sandy. He seems more into her than she is into him.
I agree about that.
I agree.
Cheyenne, I have a question, just a general reality TV question.
Yeah.
What's it like to be judged on a past decision? In this instance, they filmed the Ultimatum, close to a year ago, maybe 10 months ago. Mm-hmm. What's it like to be getting judgment, whether good or bad or whatever, on a previous version of yourself and having to feel that and react to that?
That's sucks. A good question. It 100% sucks, but there's two sides to that answer, right? It sucks because I have made plenty of mistakes in my life, on reality TV, not on reality TV. And here's the thing. My mistakes 9 times out of 10 are filmed. And then I have to go through that mistake in the time that I'm making it, learn from my mistake, and then rewatch me make the mistake on TV, and then hopefully watch me learn from my mistake on TV. But sometimes there's people who watch it and they want to only see you in that season of your life. So the season that, let's say you were on addiction or something, or the season where you were just a really bad version of yourself, or a past mistake that you've made that's now followed you. It's like sometimes people can't allow you to evolve, and that's the hard thing with doing reality TV, is that we all make mistakes. We've all had bad moments on TV. I've had plenty of them. I'm in no way perfect at all. But you have to be able to watch yourself and then say, damn, I never want to look like that again. Like, I have an episode from our very first shoot of Teen Mom. It was 4th of July. Zach and I got into a huge fight. I was drunk. He was drunk. It was so bad. We were outside my mom's house. And that morning, I'd asked my mom, can I wear your hoop earrings? And she was like, I just got these hoop earrings. Like, please don't lose them. I'm like, it's my first shoot. I really want to wear your hoop earrings. She's like, okay, you go wear my fucking hoop earrings, right? Zach and I got into this shit show argument on the show. I hate that is filmed, recorded, whatever. I'm watching it back now, 6 months later. They show us arguing. Her hoop earring is stuck in the back of my weave, okay?
I'm dead.
I couldn't ever find the hoop earring again. I had lost it that night, acting a fool on TV. Like, that, you get what I mean? So then to rewatch, and I'm like, fuck, there's that earring, and fuck, like, why was I doing that? You know, like
why was I acting like that?
Yes. Now, I still have people to this day who would be like, damn, I know you and Zach have the worst marriage ever because I saw you guys argue that one 4th of July. That was actually 7 years ago, and now, like, are you going to keep us in that box? Are you going to always see us for those two dumb people drunk arguing, or are we allowed to evolve? So I think that that's the hard part, is that it does suck to have people criticize you, judge you, all these different things. But what I know as somebody who's done reality TV for now 10 years,
that's crazy, Shy,
is that you are allowed to make mistakes, and you are allowed to evolve. And that's the biggest thing. Even with me bitching and complaining about JR, Scotty, and Sandy, they're all allowed to evolve from this. But I think that it's how you approach the evolution. So right now, Scotty's approach is blaming editing and not taking accountability. That, to me, is shitty. You've had months and months to process what you've done on the show.
Right.
Now should be your accountability train. Hey. Yes. JR, he is taking the route of living in this villain role. I don't think he's learned. I don't think that he's evolved. Now, I haven't looked on Sandy's stuff. Maybe Sandy is saying, I am a girl's girl. I don't know. Are we allowed to let her be a girl's girl? I'm not really sure yet. But I'm saying, like, eventually she's allowed to grow too, I guess, you know? So it's hard. It's so hard.
It is hard.
And being on both sides of it, being on the side of a person who does reality TV, but also being on a side of, like, I have a podcast. I want to talk about all the reality TV people too. It's like, I know how it feels. I think I'm a little bit more passionate with this one because
it's your friend.
It's my friend. So I'm going to speak my fucking mind. And I think that they were both narcissistic assholes, and I hated watching it. I'm very happy that Dana stood her ground, that she looked fucking gorgeous. She spoke well. She always stayed true to her actual character. Nowhere in here is Dana pretending, being fake, being a character. She's literally being herself. Where JR, I don't know, I've never met this version of you. I think that you have, like, studied and then was like, I'm gonna be the villain.
I'm gonna be this person.
I'm here. Like, I think that he really, like, has embodied this new character, and it's just not panning out well for himself. I think he thought it would be cool, but it's not. You don't look good. Chalk
really...
it up. Apologize. Let's see some apologies go out.
Apologies. I'm sorry. Like,
I want to see somebody apologize.
I really want to see him apologize
and acknowledge, the lies, acknowledge how you've acted, acknowledge the disrespect. Like, let's see that. I don't want to see more TikToks of you saying I'm the villain. Meh. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I want to see I'm sorry for
being me,
being you, and disrespecting my relationship.
That's what so, I don't know. Did I answer your question, Trev?
Yeah, I think that's great.
It was a great answer.
But there's two sides. There's definitely two sides of it. I've been on both sides.
But I liked how you said that people are allowed to evolve.
They are. And
but it's the way
you have to let them. We have to let them. And
also the way you approach, like you're saying, like, nobody's evolving right We're not seeing the
I
evolvement.
don't see the involvement.
We're not seeing that we're taking accountability of how our actions were on TV.
Trust me, I have made so many mistakes on TV. Zach has made mistakes.
Yeah.
And we have had to watch ourselves make them. We've had to clean up certain things. We've had to change. We've had to evolve. And there's still so many people that want to keep us in one box. And that is the price that you pay when you do these shows.
Because people are going to want you there.
And how many times am I going to scream to the rooftop, we've changed, we've grown, we've done this, we've matured? It's like, at some point, I accept that this is how people are going to see me, and that is what it is. What matters to me is what my family thinks, what my friends think, and what I know about myself.
Right.
And
you
that's
have to
it.
have that type of that's a different type of reassurance and confidence that you have to have within yourself. Because you're going to be like, you have to quiet
out the noise.
Yeah.
So, at the same point, Scotty, you got to quiet out the noise right now. I've seen your comments. They're bad. Quiet out the noise, because I feel like he's internalizing all of them, and I want him to not do that. I want him to watch the show, see how his character is, and work on himself. So that's going to be really hard to quiet out the noise. I feel like Scotty he does not like this version of himself.
No, he
I don't
doesn't.
think that he's saying, I stand by my behavior. I think that he's actually
I'm so sorry.
fuck, I didn't know how I came off.
Right.
So it's like, okay, now that you know that, what are you doing to work on yourself?
Right. Show hey.
You know what I mean?
Mental health, or show hey, let's.
And that doesn't have to be public. That can be you working behind closed doors on yourself. That is what I would want out of him.
Yeah.
But I guess, after we have to circle back to this conversation after the proposal day and after the reunion. And
I hope sorry I yelled so much, but
I'm
I was
sorry
so
too, guys.
passionate about this. I've never been so passionate about a show.
Me either. I haven't ever in my life.
I feel like I've watching your show, but I don't think I've been yelling.
I've never been yelling at myself. I mean, I've yelled at myself a few times, but never like this. And I've never commented on so many TikTok videos in my life. I think I've been on everybody's TikTok who's posted about this show, standing up for my friend.
Even when I tell people about the show, I'm like, they're like, oh, what are you doing today? I'm like, I'm watching Ultimatum. But then I'm like, get really into it. I'm like, but you know what? My friend's on the show, and then her man just disrespects her the whole time. I'm like, you guys, if you need to, I'm like,
yeah.
It's just one of those things.
It's tough. This one is a tough one.
It is tough.
It's tough, and it's tough to be on the sideline for. But I want to circle back to this conversation next week. And God willing, maybe we can get Zaina on. But at the same time, honestly, Zay, protect your mental health, protect how you feel right now, and know that there are
screen out
so many people that love you and adore you for being you, and that's the biggest thing. So, I appreciate you guys listening to us rant.
Yes, thank you.
So, thank you for that. Thank you for letting us scream.
Scream at you guys.
And
while you guys
I am
listening.
excited to hear what you guys think about the Ultimatum. So please drop comments below. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know if you guys are screaming at the TV like me and Shannon are screaming at the TV.
Screaming, crying.
Yeah. And if anybody knows Zaina, I want you guys to go to Zaina's page and give her a lot of love.
All the love.
She needs it.
And stop telling her she looks like Cardi B.
Yeah, she doesn't like that. No, I'm just kidding. She's like, everyone keeps saying that. I'm like, Zaina, you do look like Cardi B.
You think so?
Yes, I've told her that for years.
That's so funny.
We'll do it side by side.
She kept asking me at the dinner. She's like, Shannon, look at this.
Don't forget to follow us at Think Loud Crew on Instagram and on YouTube. We'll be back next week in another episode. And don't forget to follow me at Shy Not Shy.
And don't forget to follow me at Hair by Shannon C. And don't forget to tell
your crew about our crew.
Because I almost forgot.